Hi, Kathy, the vegan prepper here to show you the process I go through to transplant my small seedlings into their permanent homes in the garden. So what I do, and I can do because we have such a long growing season here, I tend to use one or two of my garden beds as the seed starting trays for my plants. So many reasons for this. Number one being because I live in Phoenix, super hot climate. I don't have any windows in my home that get sun, like not a single one, because they're purposefully designed to keep the sun out. So I would need to set up a growing system, and I just haven't done that yet. And then there's some other reasons. I really like just planting the seeds directly in the ground, because also when it comes time to transplant them, I don't have to worry about hardening them off because they're already outside. They've spent their entire lives outside already. And so I don't have to worry about, putting it out for so many hours one day and then so many more hours the next day and all of that. And taking care of them ends up just fitting into my garden routine. And so you'll notice too that I've got wood chips, and the seeds come up just fine through the wood chips. One of the cool things about it too is the wood chips keep the birds from eating the seeds. So you can sow your seeds and then throw your wood chips down, and they'll come up when it's time for them to start coming up. And you'll see I have some other seedlings coming up over here just fine. There's a couple rows of lettuce that I know are not coming through until it's a little cooler out. But all in all, everything's looking really great. But these guys are pretty much what I consider to be the perfect size for transplanting. So they're like a little bit bigger. They've got their true leaves, because these right here are their little baby leaves. And then they get, it's like right here are the little baby leaves. These ones that first pop up that you first see, and then they start getting their true leaves. And as those true leaves start getting just a little bigger, that's when I like to do it. So you can see here is a little seedling that's just starting to get its true leaves, but that's still too small. It looks like there's going to be probably this one. I might lose a couple, but it's time to transplant them. If you wait for too long, then their root structure is too big and they actually don't recover as well. I find that these kind of smaller plants, oddly enough, you would think that transplanting them when they're bigger and stronger is better, but no, it seems like it just upsets the roots too much. So this is about the perfect time to do it. So basically what I like to do is I kind of get some of the wood chips out of the way, and I just get back down to the soil. I get in with I just use a fork, and I sort of loosen up that section, kind of deep. Try really hard not to get any roots like ripping, and then they just come up. And there's no, there wasn't a single rip or tear. I didn't feel a single thing. And then I sort of just massage it very gently. This is just all being very gently or very gentle. You don't yank these up. You don't want to hurt these little roots. But again, at this point, they will recover a lot more easily. But see, look they already have such a great little root structure. And so these are absolutely ready to go. And I just sort of gently pull these apart, and then I'm gonna try with these. They might be kind of too small, but you never know. They might make it. But I will set the tiny ones aside. I'm mainly looking for these ones that are kind of bigger, like the teenage plants. Okay, so we have a few of these bigger ones, and I'll take these over to a bed. And I think too, people ask, what are the logistics of this when you garden with wood chips on top? Like, why, for instance? I think one of the main reasons is because it helps with water retention, especially, like I said, I garden here in Phoenix, and we have, 120 degree weather in the summer. And then also this year in particular, we've had 54, 110 degree plus days, which is more 110 degree plus days than we've ever had before, at least on record. So the wood chips are really important. for retaining water, but also for protecting the surface of the soil and the bacteria that live in the soil. They can actually die from the sun, and the sun can beat on them and kill them. So the wood chips provide a little bit of a protective shade covering for the soil as well. And it just helps everything to do better. So, but yeah, logistically, how do you plant when you've got wood chips? So I'll show you right now. In this bed, we've just recently cut out some plants and cleared it a bit, and oh gosh, yeah, I'm seeing ant activity. We have so many ants. Wow, tons of ant activity. I might not want to stick my hand in this right now, but here, let's see if we can manage to do one without it being too bad. They're not cooperating. Don't they know I'm trying to film a YouTube video here? Okay, so I'm gonna stick a bok choy right here. I'll grab one of these, whichever one, kind of get it in there, and then I'm not gonna cover up any of those leaves. But when I put it in, I push that soil down and give it a nice solid place to sit, and then I just sort of, for the most part, put the wood chips pretty much right back where they were. And that's basically how you do it, kind of one at a time. So I think I could put another bok choy like right here, and I just dig in. So we try really hard as much as possible not to disturb the soil, which is so important because there's so much of that soil ecology going on in here, and we don't want to upset any of it. So also, I learned from one of my favorite books. It's called Gaia's Garden. Oh, oopsie, I got like 3 of them in one. It's called Gaia's Garden, that if you plant in a triangular pattern instead of a square pattern, you actually can fit more plants in the same amount of space. And that's just sort of what I learned. How true that is, I don't know. I mean, I assume it's true. I really trust that book. That book is an incredible book. So all this is actually leftover plants we just cut down, and I just let it stay. So it becomes kind of a new layer of mulch for the little seedlings. In there. Here's your new home. Hope you like it. And then even if it kind of gets a little buried, that's fine. It'll be fine. So it's actually trying still, because we're still, like, today was 108 outside, trying to keep them in the shade of some of these other plants I have. So I'm gonna do that. Now here are my bok choy in their new homes. I'm gonna actually, yeah, the ants. Ugh. I know that you have a purpose for it. Ugh. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of shelter them a little more, and then get them just a little bit more like kind of light shades. We're gonna try to set them up with some extra protection on this side of each one to try to keep them safe from that horrible afternoon sun. So what's nice about doing it now, so it is I don't know, like 6:30 at night. So, anyway, it's 6:30 at night. It's still really hot outside. And I always transplant in the evening. Even in winter, I transplant in the evening. And it just gives the plants all night long without any kind of sun hitting on them to like acclimate to their new little area. And it gives them a better chance of survival. And so that's what I always do. So now basically what's going to happen is I'm gonna get the hose, we're gonna water these in, give them a really nice drink, tell them sorry for moving them, and hopefully they do really well. But I have pretty much 100% success rate transplanting stuff like this. It just works. And I think those are the keys, is transplanting them when it's the right size, when the plant itself is the right size, when it's the right time, and then just sort of trying to keep in mind to protect them. But honestly, plants are a lot tougher than we give them credit for. Like, they're really tough. So anyway, they survive forever without us, and so I think that they're great. They're going to be good. So I guess that's all. If you have more questions, or if I didn't cover something, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, and I will go ahead and sign off now in case we are standing in a bunch of ants. So yeah, my husband's like so anyway, thank you as always for watching, and yeah, for being here. Just subscribe, hit the like button, and let me know if you're wanting more content like this, gardening tips and whatnot. So as always, I hope the rest of your day is good and your life stays wonderful. See you later. Bye.